Yeah, tonight is a message of hope for change. And when you think of the words hope for change, it can mean so many different things. And it's something that you can apply within your own life. So when you think of the word hope for change, the word hope, defined in the Webster's Dictionary, is to desire with expectation of fulfillment. To desire with expectation of fulfillment. We all desire something in our lives, and we want to be fulfilled in one way or another. God is a God of hope, and we all desire restoration, redemption, renewal, revival within ourselves and with the struggles that we go through in our lives. And we must believe and trust that with God, all things are possible. I'd like to share a Bible verse from you from 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. And it says, "And we who with unveiled faces are a reflection of the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his likeness with ever-increasing glory." That word transformed means a process of change. It's a process. Some of us want things instantly, and we want to be changed instantly, but we're going through a process throughout our lifetime of changing and becoming more Christ-like in our character. I personally went through tremendous growth and change and transformation when I had my bicycle accident over 4 years ago. One day, on a beautiful sunny day, it was one of those life unexpected moments that just hits you out of nowhere. I went bicycle riding with my husband, and I was not wearing a helmet that day. And he was making a left turn on an intersection, and I was right behind him. And he went ahead of me, and then the light turned yellow. So I panicked, and I rode as fast as I can. So I just went, and I'm pretty strong, so I went as fast as I can, and I made a sharp left turn. The back of the wheel got caught in the gutter water and all the street gravel. And I quickly lost balance, and without putting my foot down first, my whole body collapsed and landed right on the street pavement. It was a very, very intense, hard fall. And I can feel my left cheekbone hitting the impact of the street pavement. That felt that it was shattering my brain for quite a while. And I can feel the deep cuts on my shoulder, my elbow, and my knee. It was deeply cut, and my clothes were torn. The bicycle was all banged up. My face was so swollen that it was black and blue, and the deep cuts were everywhere, piled with Neosporin. And my kids said, "Mom, you look like Two-Face from Batman." And I said, "Oh my God, I can relate now with people with big scars on their face." Throughout this whole experience that I've gone through, God has taught me a lot more empathy and compassion with people. I was challenged with all my cognitive skills. I had no energy to talk with people, to do hair. I would normally work very fast, but I couldn't go any faster than this pace. And I had no energy sometimes to even smile. And I would just take baby steps and walk very slow. This will last for a few months. But I did take a CAT scan and an MRI, and they all came out normal. So I had a hard time at work. Somebody just asked me a simple question. I just looked very disoriented, and I couldn't give a simple yes or no answer. One of the clients said, "You know, Elise, I think maybe you might have a post-concussion syndrome, because my son is a football player, and that's what he had." Next day, I went to the doctors and gave him my symptoms, and sure enough, that's what he said I had. He says, "There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is give it time and rest. It normally takes 3 months to a year to fully recover." The days when I worked, it was a constant struggle. In between clients, I would go into my car and rest about 10 to 20 minutes, just so I can preserve enough energy to slowly walk in and do the next client's hair. On my days off, it was hard to do simple house chores. You know, my arms would collapse. I couldn't lift my arms to iron, to dishwash, to make the bed. It would collapse. When clients call me on the phone to make an appointment, I would just talk to them, make an appointment, and use up all my energy. I just had to lay back down. It was really a crazy experience. I was really tripping out. And then 4 months into this, depression started to hit in. Being in this helpless state for quite a while was very challenging. And when you're in that defeat mode, you feel inadequate and helpless, and you're not getting any better, and you don't have the patience, it can get pretty depressing. And I was starting to get depressed. And then one day, I had an old friend of mine I've known for over 20 years. He called me one evening, and I felt that he was an angel sent from God. And I told him what happened to me with my accident. And he says, Elise, I have known you for all these years. You've always been a positive person. You have to fight this with all your might. You have to fight it. And then we talked on the phone for about an hour, and he just kept on encouraging me. Kept on encouraging me. I could hear his wife in the background, and she was encouraging me. So I thought, okay, I have to remember who I am. I'm God's child. I can't be defeated in this mode. So that next morning, I made a choice. I decided to be positive again. Abraham Lincoln says, people are about as happy as they make up their mind to be. I made up my mind that morning. I'm not going to be defeated, and I'm going to be happy and positive. So I was getting ready for work that day, putting on my makeup. I blasted on Pat Benatar music, Hell is for Children, sang my lungs out, and just positive mode full on. Just muster up anything that I had inside of me. And I made up my mind. I said, nuh-uh, this is not me. I'm not going to be in this defeat mode. So I went back to work, and still it was a struggle for many months. And some days it was good days, and some days it was bad days. But God's grace is sufficient for all of us. In our weakness, His power is shown. Well, 9 months into this, I was laying in bed one day, and I read this book, and it said, it's entitled, I Dare You. And what it said in there really touched me. It said, step out and find out. Try something new and different. Do something adventurous. Get out of the boat and go into the deep waters. And I thought, step out, do something new and different. What can I do? I've been a hairstylist all my life. I'm a mother, wife, this and that. What can I do? But then I remembered, ever since my son was in 6th grade, you know, as a mother, you teach your children some life lessons. And he would say, Mom, you should write a book. And I said, yeah, right, whatever. And I just brushed it off. And he would continue to say that. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. I would teach him things. Mom, I can really see those teachings in a book. You should write a book. So I went to sleep that night. And the next morning, I had this sudden urge to find 2 blank pieces of paper and a pencil. And I sat down and placed that paper right in front of me. And I looked at it. And I thought, what should I write about? And how do I even start? And then I really felt the Spirit of God talk to my heart. And I wrote my first article, which is Keys of Life. Well, about a year later, 2010, that summer, we started a women's meeting at our church. And we had a small group of 13 ladies. And they all wanted to exchange email addresses. The next morning, I was having my own devotion, and I thought, you know, the girls will be, I think they should be encouraged. It'll be nice to send them a little daily encouragement with the Word of God. You know, be nourished. I think it'll be really good. So I just sent them a little simple daily encouragement, found a Bible verse. And then I continued the next day, and the next day, and the weeks and the months went by. And I started with 13 ladies 2.5 years ago on my email address, and now I have over 250 people. 60 of them are men. I love that. So one day, I sat down and I decided to look for all the gifts and blessings that I had received going through this hard times for months in dealing with my concussion. And when I sat down, as of today, speaking here before you, I wrote down 30 gifts. And I was only able to receive these hidden gifts and blessings going through this hard ordeal that I went through.